Morning, my name is Zulkarnain Abdullah. I am serving as mediator today. I'm a certified mediator who trained to assist in resolving disputes such as the one before us today. I am pleased to be here to assist you in working through the issue, and believe that you will find that mediations to be very helpful process. Thank you for committing to be here today. If any of you have any special needs during the session, please let me know how now or at any time during the sessions. Also, please silence all the electronic device during these mediations. So today we are having Mr. Abu and Mr. Lim. So basically what I know is that Mr. Abu Mr. Lim want to buy car from Mr. Abu, who advertised it online. However, Mr. Abu already get a deal with another person. So the issue is that Mr. Abu can no longer sell the car to Mr. Lim. However, Mr. Lim still insists in buying the car. From what I can see is that the goals and objective for today mediation is that Mr. Lim want to buy the car from Mr. Abu. So in here, Mr. Lim already have the sum up of money which mentioned in the advertisement, and I know it must be hard for Mr. Abu because as he already get a deal with another person for the car, and Mr. Abu cannot suddenly draw off the deal just because there's another person who also want to buy the car. I assume that Mr. Lim already make a call first before the other person, but did not get into the deal because Mr. Lim requires time to make decision at that time. So in here, I see that there is still a way or room for negotiations. Anyways, we will get into this later during the mediations. Okay, let me begin by stating that I'm not acquaintance with either of the parties which involved in these disputes. Before that, let me explain a bit about mediations. Mediation is a voluntary process in which natural, impartial persons assist the parties who wants to generate operations for resolving their issues. So my role as mediator today is to facilitate the discussion and negotiation and help in reaching both parties and appropriate settlement terms. So everyone in here are empowered with the ability to design their own solutions that meets their own needs and address their own interests. So before we begin, I will explain a bit about the process that will be used during these mediations. It is not that hard. It is just a simple process. So when I complete these preliminary remarks, each of you will have an uninterrupted period of time to explain what brought you to these sessions. So the party that brought the matters, which is Mr. Lim, will begin first, and when Mr. Lim have completed his statement, Mr. Abu will then make an uninterrupted statement. You will see that me taking notes during the session, which just for me to organize my thought about the about these sessions, about these mediations. I also encourage that everyone in here to record any notes on the paper. At the end of these sessions, I will shred my notes and as well the notes that everyone takes today. If there's no questions, I think we should begin our mediations now. So without further ado, let's begin these mediations.